And welcome back to the Hotline. We're talking the BTCC Croft preview. Yes, BTCC is back after its summer break. Just as Formula One is about to enter its summer break, back comes the British Touring Car Championship to entertain us. But what I want to have a look at first is remind us of those standings. And compared to this time last year, I think they make for very interesting reading. We have here then Jake Hill. Who would have predicted that at the beginning of the season? On top, on 211 points. Tom Ingram, a handful of points behind, on 207. And Ash Sutton, everyone's championship favourite, at least our championship favourite, down in third at 187. And Dan Camish potentially closing in. I said he could be an underdog for the championship. He has been in a championship fight before. Next up, we've got Josh Cook, who also wants to win the championship. I don't think it's going to be hard, but not impossible. And Colin Turkington, boy, does he need to improve, in 6th on 146. And we've got Aaron Taylor on 107. Adam Morgan on 107 in 8th. Aidan Moffat on 96 in 9th. Rob Huff in 11th. I think he'll be disappointed with that on 92. Mikey Doble on 88 in 13th. Andrew Watson 17, 14th. Ronan Pearson in 15th on 65 points. Robbie Pearson in 16th on 34. Chris Smiley in 17th with 31. Sam Osborne on 23 points and an 18th place. 19th, Darryl De Leon on 23 points. Scott Sumpton on 9th. And last but no means least, Nick Halstead on 3 points. So that is pretty much the standings. But next up is Croft, the 27th to the 28th of July. Let's have a look at the timetable, shall we? So from 9:30 till 10, we've got free practice on the Saturday for the touring car, and again at 10 past 12. Qualifying though is going to begin at 3 till 5 to 4. That's the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship. That's on ITV, I think ITVX, and it will also be on YouTube with the qualifying and TikTok. But the important day is going to be the Sunday, and that's where the first race starts at 5 past 12. Bit of a late one compared to some race weekends. And the second race is at 2:45, with the final race being at 5 o'clock. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? They also have at 5:40 a pre-66 Classic Touring Car Championship, which I think is pretty awesome. Also, we got the Porsche Carrera Cup. No Formula 4, but still there's plenty of stuff to keep you entertained at Croft. Quite a twisty and technical circuit. And speaking of the circuit, let's have a quick look at it. Sadly, very sadly, I don't have a computer game other than Talkative that actually has the current guise of Croft in. So we're going to have a look at it. It is quite a twisty technical circuit. 16 corners and at 2.13 miles. And as you come in, you've got kind of like a weird first corner at Clervaux. Then Hawthorne Bend. Yes, you can pass there. Then we've got this weird chicane. And yeah, things happen there. Then you've got a long straight to Tower Bend where passes have happened in the past. Then onwards to the Jim Clark S's. What a name. Into Barcroft. Sunny in and sunny out. I like that. Kind of like not quite a double apex corner, but it is 2 corners, just about. They're all on the map anyway. It always reminds me of the 2 Degners of Japan. I know they're not. And then we've got the complex coming up to the hairpin. Now, what's interesting about the complex and the hairpin, you do see passes there, but very often going into the complex and the hairpin, will you see passes being set up for the for that first corner? And normally it's quite an interesting first lap. Many cars off a lot of the time. So as I said, 16 corners, 2.13 miles. It was first opened in 1968. Colin Turkington has the lap record of a 1 minute 21.468, as you can see, and he's got the race lap record of a 1 minute 21.781. It's in Yorkshire, as you can see here, not too far from Newcastle. And it's a track, it's suggested, that favours rear wheel machinery. The North Yorkshire circuit is renowned for its challenging technical nature, it says, and indeed is often regarded as the truest of the all-round test on that British touring car calendar. Usually coming just before the summer break, Croft is often a pivotal event as teams seek out to put an advantage on their rivals. It's still pivotal because it is the new. It's not the new event, but it's in a new position as the first back to school event. Yeah, after the touring car summer holidays, we're basically back. So, what I want to say, there was some news, which I'm going to try and find. Nope, sadly, I can't find it there, but it is in 3 days, 21 hours and 2 minutes. The British Touring Car Championship has been opened for 2 more potential teams. At least that's what Alan Gow said. He wants 2 more serious teams to come into the BTCC. Is it going to happen? I hope it does. We have 20 cars at the moment, so 2 more teams could be, up to 4 more cars or even 6 when we have the 3-car teams. We'll have to wait potentially till next year. Remember when we had 30 plus cars? It did look amazing. But as Alan Gow said at the beginning of this year, he wants quality, not quantity. But I don't think you want to go smaller than 20. I don't really think you want to go smaller than 20, though, really, in my opinion. So let's have a look at driver by driver. All the driver stories coming into, and we'll do it almost in a... Well, let's speak about the Toms first. So Tom Ingram, 207 points. He's a few points behind Jake Hill. Surely, in his own head, he's going to think he's there for the title. His car's normally fairly consistent. The issue he has is, unlike Ash Saturn, he can't qualify as high when it comes to the hybrid. Ash is arguably one of the best BTCC qualifiers in our opinion. He's absolutely brilliant. But someone that might be able to help if he gets his act together, yes, he's all the way in 10th in the championship, is Tom Chilton. If the car goes well, he may well get a win, particularly in either race 2 or maybe even race 3 with a bit of luck. So yeah, expect to see him do well. Scott Sumpton. Now let's see where he is. He's all the way down in 20th with just 9 points. He's not last. That honour goes to Nick Halstead, unfortunately. But yeah, he needs to have a better half of the season, doesn't he, in his Cupra Leon? Albeit, I don't think the Cupra Leon is really the best car. But Sam Osborne in the Ford Focus, he's arguably the worst at the moment. It's definitely the worst of the Napa Racing UK, in the worst position in the championship at the very least, all the way down in 18th. Yeah, he needs to do better, really. Sam, don't be there to make up the numbers. We want you to do something a bit better. Ronan Pearson is next. Let's talk about Ronan Pearson. He's currently 15th in the standings in the Hyundai i30. And when you see what Tom Chilton, the 2 Toms are able to do with it, you kind of feel a bit disappointed really with Ronan. Once again, can do better. Let's hope he does. Now, Rob Huff, he's currently 11th in the championship. I'm disappointed. He's won 1 race, but I kind of felt he'd be better, maybe. He hasn't had the best of luck. He was my shout for outside wins. I would be disappointed in the second half of the season if Rob Huff does not get another win, essentially. He's in the Toyota, which some people have suggested is not the best car, but on its day, when they get the setup right, it's up there with everyone, as is Rob Huff. So we've gone from Rob Huff to Nick Halstead, who's sadly last in the championship with the Hyundai i30N. We know how good that Hyundai i30 can be. I don't know if is it just confidence with him, but he does qualify sometimes, towards the, on the back row. Hopefully, I'm hoping that he's got a lot of room for improvement in the second half of the year, and he can show us what he's really got. I would love Nick Halstead for a top 10 finish for the second half of the season. That would be fantastic. That would put it would definitely put a big smile on Nick's face. It would put a massive smile in my face as well if Nick Halstead can get it into that top 10. So, from Nick Halstead to Mikey Doble. Mikey Doble, currently 13th in the championship in his Vauxhall Astra. Once again, arguably not the best car. Kind of like mid-pack. I reckon this guy could snatch a few podiums. At Croft, I'm not too sure. It is a really technical circuit. I think it's going to be dominated by the Ford, by the Hyundais and the BMWs, and I'm not sure too many people, maybe even the Toyota, are going to get too much of a look in. But, yes, it is a big but. This man here, Josh Cook, currently 5th, thinking he can still potentially win the championship, arguably the best Toyota runner. What's going to be interesting is he's currently 5th in the championship, so obviously Camish, Sutton, Ingram Hill are all ahead of him. Which means, though, on a plus point, he's going to get the best use of that hybrid in qualifying. So, hopefully, I think if he can qualify on the front couple of roads, he's in for a very solid weekend. It is a big if, though. It potentially is a big if. So, from one J to another J, and it is the Jake Hill, the leader of the British Touring Car Championship. He's going to be a bit disadvantaged going into qualifying in Croft. But I reckon by race 3, he could be up there with potentially winning. He's going to need to somehow protect those points from both Ingram and Sutton. All I'm saying is what a fantastic championship we've got this year. We arguably have 4 or maybe even 5 if you speak to Josh, at the moment, drivers that could realistically, maybe 6 with Colin, we'll get onto that, but at least 4 drivers that can realistically win and are gunning for this Touring Car Championship. Let's hope we have the epic of epic seasons. Now, we've gone from Jake Hill to Daryl DeLeon. He's all the way back in 19th, 23 points in the Cooper Leon. Is it because of the Cooper? I'm not sure. It is his first season, but I can't help but feeling he's maybe made a few more mistakes than maybe he should do. So, Daniel Rowbottom in 12th. Ultimately, he's going to, at some point, I wonder when they're going to play the team orders card for Napa Racing UK and get people like Dan Rowbottom to help Ash Sutton. I mean, that's going to be the interesting thing, isn't it? However, they haven't done that yet. We haven't heard of it yet. It's going to be interesting if this guy can nail it. Maybe not on the front road, but the front couple of roads, I think he could be in for a good weekend. Could he do it? Absolutely he could. Will he do it? I don't know. But Ash Sutton in that car is just absolutely amazing. He's just a qualifying legend. So the other man, and this is the man who I don't think team orders will apply to just yet, because he is within 20 points, less than 20 points of Ash Sutton, but he does need to have, I think, a solid weekend to show, yes, Ash, I really am a danger. He's got the same car. Let's go, Dan. Put pressure on Ash Sutton, because it's going to be interesting, isn't it? And what's really interesting, as I mentioned, the team orders, you've got Jake Hill for basically Team BMW West Racing in first, Colin Turkington in 6th, and he's some 60, nearly 60 points behind, 50 to 55, I think, in total, if my math is correct, which it sometimes isn't. But when I went are WSR at any point going to be looking at team orders, which is going to be interesting. And Dan Camish has the same problem, I think, as well. One person that doesn't have that problem is going to be Tom Ingram. Is that going to be an advantage? And speaking of team orders, etc., Colin Turkington, yes, he has won a race, but 146 to 211, and that's his teammate, inarguably the same car. Massively disappointed in Colin so far this year. Let's hope he can turn it around at Croft. Once again, I think anyone that gets on those front 2 roads are going to have a really, really solid weekend. And what's good for Colin, even more so than Josh Crook, for example, is he's going to have a fair amount more hybrid than the people ahead of him. So things could happen. But I always say, is this man going to be smiling, as in his namesake, Chris Smiley, at the end of Croft? Well, he's 17th in the championship, 31 points in the Cooper Leon. I'm not too sure he will. I think top 10 he will be, and I'll be really, really happy if Chris Smiley can get into that top 10. Bobby Thompson, as we know, is not here. Massive, massive travesty. He's not racing for Team BMW, despite getting that podium all the way back at the second meeting. It just makes me sad that he's still on my list. This guy doesn't make me sad, though. Ash Sutton. I love the fact that he's third, because he's one of the most exciting races in BTCC. Him and Tom Ingram, not best of friends. They're not going to be exchanging Christmas cards, let's say. But I'm really excited. The fact that he's third and not kind of like dominating sort of like he was last year. He's going to really have to fight, isn't he? He's going to have to fight through the qualifying, because he won't have the best hybrid. Yes, he is third. He doesn't have the worst, but still, it's going to be really interesting. I cannot wait for Croft to see what this man does after 4 weeks off. He could go and smash them all, couldn't he? Aaron Taylor Smith. Yep, Aaron Taylor Smith is. I tell you what, he's not doing too bad at all. Aaron Taylor Smith is not doing too bad at all. He is currently 7th in the standings in his Vauxhall Astra. And a win maybe on the cards, I think. Maybe not at Croft, but possibly in this half of the season. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? So Andrew of the Watson. Andrew Watson is currently, where is he? He's currently 14th on 70 points. I think once again in the Toyota, a top 10 will be amazing. I reckon he's got the potential to finish in the top 10. He'll have a decent amount of hybrid for qualifying. Will he get in the quick 6? I'm not too sure, but if he can get anywhere near that top 10, that's going to be a massive plus for him. So 2 more to go. Aidan Moffat, the guy that won in the first meeting, and then not particularly great after that. He's currently 9th on 96 points. I reckon we can still get a win for him in the Toyota Corolla. And it'll be interesting whether him or Rob Huff are going to finish ahead. They're quite close to each other in the championship. So let's see what Aidan Moffat can do. He tends to do all right, not too bad. But this one of the disappointing people of the season is Adam Morgan. He's been really solid. He's currently 8th on 107 points. He's been quite solid in the qualifying, but in the races, it's just a bit disappointing. He's won touring car races as well. So I've been a bit disappointed in Adam Morgan. Hopefully he throws egg on our face and we'll be eating humble pie come Croft. But that's pretty much your touring car drivers, your 2024 touring car drivers as we head into Croft. Comment below. Let me know who you guys think is going to do well at Croft. If you want to see more touring car talk, give us a subscribe. If you've already done that, give us a like, comment below. If you do one of them, you're a touring car champion in our eyes. If you can do either, if you do 2, like and comment, or like, subscribe, etc., you are a multiple world touring car champion in our eyes. Hit that notification bell if you want to see more BTCC news going into the weekend. We'll be and out the weekend when we will. That's a bit when we will. Yeah, when we will be talking about the race. Thank you very much, and we'll speak to you soon.